we have
Yeah.
success. Yay. A party of three now.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I can't see either one of you. That's so weird. I can only see myself,
Oh
but I've
my
been
goodness.
sitting there saying, here, I'm here, like Horton Hears a Who, but
Well,
it
we're
didn't work.
here,
Okay.
party of three. So you'll just have to trust us. Anna's here too. So hi,
Yeah.
Anna.
Hi, Anna. Our goddess of goddess.
Yes, our head goddess is here watching. So great.
I'm so excited
All right.
for today for our conversation. Miche, I was saying that 1212, this portal. Let's start with that.
Yes.
How the things that you like to do when it comes when it's a portrait? Like, is that a ritual that you guys like to do?
Um, yeah, I personally don't. I just acknowledge it. You know, I love when numbers show up. Like, I mean, that's not random, that's a calendar, but you know, when you're driving and you look down at the odometer and it's like, you know, 366666 or whatever, I always feel like it's a wink, a nod from the universe.
Wow.
So that's where I go with that.
Yeah. I really love it too. I feel like it's angel numbers. And the fun thing for me is that my husband is born on 1010 and my son is born on 1111. So we were teasing, we need somebody in the family born on 1212. And here we're birthing this beautiful Instagram live today on 1212. So
I love that. I
Great. Yeah.
love the synchronicities. That's exactly how I feel like the universe is talking to us.
yes,
Like the universe is always trying to connect with us. It's just a matter for us to be open, right,
yeah,
for that.
yeah, exactly.
So, talking specifically, I want you guys to introduce yourself to explain how it works. I know that you're healers and life coach and speakers, and you are all also in our platform, the Wellness Universe Corporation. But can you explain, both of you, how it works so people get to know more about it?
Okay, sure. Miche, do you want to go first?
Okay. Thank you. I have to say, it's like so weird seeing myself and not seeing you both, but that's okay. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna roll with it. So, yes, healer, mentor, coach. I the core of no matter what I'm doing is always has to do with helping people find their self-love and their self-worth and their self-respect in our everyday, our daily beings, but then also more in the energy department of it to find that in our greater selves. That I see it that we are um, divine beings in human suits. So I help us in our human suits, and then I like to help us connect and understand and know that we really are divine beings and tap into the intuition and the sense of connection and oneness and just the power of being a divine being and how we're here already coming in perfect and living imperfectly. So we're perfectly imperfect. And that's what I like to bring to people, to be themselves, accept themselves, and keep growing into more of who they are.
That's
Wonderful.
beautiful. How about you, Janette?
Yes, so I work with the angels. I'm an angelic practitioner, and I just like to remind people of their divinity that, like Miche said, you know, we're perfectly imperfect. So we're having this life experience as a divine being coming here to learn what we want, you know, what we came here to learn. And it takes us a long time to get to that point. And I'm so grateful, you know, that like-minded souls here on the Wellness Universe, that the healers now can reach out freely and get our messages out there without feeling, you know, like we're being persecuted or anything. So thank you for this opportunity, the Wellness Universe, because we're so excited for our upcoming book coming out in January, 25 Tools for Life. And Miche has a cool part in this book. Miche has designed a beautiful piece of jewelry. Do you want to tell us about that, Miche?
Yeah, I would love to hear about
I,
it. Like
I'll
infinity.
actually have to say that it's Anna's designs, Anna's baby, which I have helped bring to life. And we both have strong feelings and connections to the design, which I'm wearing It's a heart with an infinity sign within it, heart of infinity. And we're all connected, and we're connected to ourselves, and we ourselves are infinite beings in the divine being sense. And to bring into our everyday life, wearing something like this, to have it as a touchstone or as an amulet to remind ourselves about the abundance of love that exists, the abundance of love that we are, and that we firstly deserve to be loving ourselves, and from there sending out love to our close ones, our far ones, the unknowns, sending it out into the world. And so this was something coming from Anna's heart, and certainly resonated with me, and I'm excited that the two of us have burst this together, and bringing that into the world, spreading the love.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And the heart of the infinity, that's the jewelry. Oh, and I just wrote here. Um, it's also related to the 10 years of the Wellness Universe, right? This birthday collection also. It's not just the book, the 25
Right.
Tunes for Life, but also related to the 10 years of Wellness Universe next year.
Yes, actually, it is Anna's design
Yeah.
commemorating the 10 years and the growth and everything that she put in, and all her team in the world that she magnetized around her to create this. And how it relates to the book is that I was surprised to find out that this piece of jewelry has a place in the back of the book with the story about it, and then a link to the Wellness Universe, which will then link to my website, and where people will be able to go and buy the pendant. Or also, a custom jeweler, so go with that and maybe add on to it, or design something in addition to it. But I'm excited that this piece gets to live on my website with my other jewelry and my other offerings as well. And
That's so amazing. You know how the universe always connect us because I have this. I made with one of my best friends. Look, and I just when I show Anna, I was like, I'm gonna make a heart here right now. You know, to be part of this
Oh,
moment, which is so amazing. But Miche, I want to ask you because you've been working through this journey, this beautiful journey for over 40 years, right?
yeah, actually getting close to 50 now. I started making jewelry when I was in high school. So,
Wow, that's fantastic. But regarding like the journey related to this healing, like you as a practitioner, as a coach.
hmm yeah, I did. I'm 64. I started in my 20s, picking up skills and modalities here and there. And even in my early 20s, I was training as a peer counselor
Mhm.
and assisting, leading different groups to help people heal on different topics. And so it's always been something that I've been interested in. I uh, grew up thinking that I was just really smart, could really sort of read people's body language or whatever and know things. And then a couple decades later, finally, with a mentor, realized that, yeah, I am really smart. So that's good. But I'm actually very empathic and intuitive. And I wasn't just being, cleverly watching people, but I actually can, pick up things, sense things about people's emotions or what's going on with them, or just get downloads sometimes of information. And I have over the years just kept training in different modalities. Sometimes it's because you think something's missing, and other times it's because I just love learning. But yeah, so there, through a lot of that, there was also a lot of self-doubt and insecurity, maybe about how good was my ability or whatever. And the more I came into really loving and appreciating myself and seeing that I do things in my way, I learn from other people their way, but then I have to translate it through my own. That as I really stepped into my self-love, my capabilities, my capacity, my understanding just totally blossomed. And I've started doing energy work with people that has been off the charts in terms of what they're getting from it compared to what I was doing before when I was trying to do what other people did. Now I do what I do, and it helps people open and transform in a whole new level. So that's been just maybe the last 5 to 10 years really have taken off.
And how do you feel like all of these years? How do you feel like this was like related with yourself, like your own process, and you as a healer, as a professional? Do you feel like there was a moment that was like, I don't know exactly who am I in this process? Is that because it's at the end of the day you cannot separate. But did you? There is a moment
Right.
of your life that you totally regret, like, no, I think this is me as a professional. Now it's a personal life. Do you have this process?
Yeah. For me, actually, it was a struggle around money because I always felt, even without, sort of calling my professional or whatever, I always wanted to do this, not just for myself, but for other people. Actually, years ago, I used to imagine just like standing on a street corner and just sort of beaming out healing to people as they went by, and if they were open and receive it, they would get it. And if they weren't, they wouldn't, all good. Um, and it wasn't until I think I really came to terms with how much I had accumulated, how much study, how much practice and experience I had, where it became okay to sort of hang the shingle out and say, okay, this is professional. Um, and yeah, actually, I used to work on with my stepdad a lot, and he said to me one day years ago, he said, I don't believe in any of this stuff. I just know that it works. And I think it was at that point where he was sort of helping me, hold the image of hanging out my shingle, from my office space, as when I started to switch more from, okay, I'm just a person doing this, from my heart to, yes, person doing this from my heart. And this is my mission. This is a big part of my purpose of being here, is to help people become more of who they are. And I have a lot of different tools and I can use them professionally. So here I am. And now I'm writing in the book about it. So it feels like completing a certain level and opening to the next level.
Amazing, fantastic. And Janette, your work with the angels, I have a feeling when I first met you, it's just like it's in your personality as well. I can see yourself and seem like I'm talking to an angel.
Well, thank you for that, Claudia. I was just thinking when Miche was speaking about, our work in the world, and I had a different experience that I came from a full-time career for 36 years, and I retired 10 years ago. And shortly after that is when I became a member of the Wellness Universe, when I started doing my soul work. But it's funny you should say we would dress up for Halloween, and I came as an angel one year. And so the guys on the crew were teasing me. They're like, you're supposed to dress something, in something different. So that was funny. But the way I began working was with the angels was because my brother, my beloved brother, became very ill all of a sudden. He had a brain tumor and his physical health declined so much. I grew up in the church and I had heard about angels, but I thought it was more like a historical thing, like only saints or people that were holy would be able to work with the angels. I didn't know it was like modern day stuff. And when I was searching for something to get me through this rapid decline of my brother's um, physical decline, I found a woman that wrote angel affirmations. And this was back in the day when Facebook was just words. And she asked if I wanted an affirmation, and I asked for one. And it was just so beautiful and so healing. And it really got me through those times, and following her on Facebook. So hearing the angels' words of comfort, of peace, even when things are falling apart, even when you're losing a beloved one, that you are still loved, adored, treasured, and that the angels always have your back, even in the darkest of times. And after my brother passed away, I feel like he's a huge advocate for me on the other side. um, and I decided I would become um, an angel card reader so that I could help other people. And that was really huge for me. And so I've had the pleasure of knowing Anna for 9 years and seeing how far the wellness universe has come. And I had the pleasure of being in her first book where I wrote about gratitude. And in this book, this is the fifth book, 25 Tools for Life, I'm writing about appreciation. And it's just so fun. It feels like a bookend, right? The first book was gratitude, and the fifth book is appreciation. So, what can we appreciate? And there's so much high vibe energy regarding in appreciation. It's high vibration like love and joy, gratitude, appreciation. So especially this time of the year, to focus on what lights us up, what we're thankful for. So,
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think that's related to what just Michelle said about self-love, right? Like what I appreciate in myself. Because if I'm not able to appreciate myself, I will not be able to appreciate the others or the things that surround me, right?
mm. And it takes us a long time to be able to appreciate ourselves.
Do you have like what tool do you use to appreciate yourself more as you can give to our audience as a tip for them to start from the beginning?
Well, my tool in the book is a rampage of appreciation. And so it's a list of things that you appreciate about someone or something. And it helps with the law of focus. So the more you focus on something, the greater it becomes. So the more you focus on positives about a person, place, or thing, those things elevate. And so, you're just like in this upward spiral of goodness. So that's what I use. And I use it also when I want to value someone else, when I'm having a hard time. So you can use it when you are having trouble with a relationship. Focusing on the good qualities of that relationship helps improve it, because it helps change you, not the other person.
That's beautiful, especially in a world that all the time make us focus in what is missing. Like I'm not good enough at this,
Yeah.
or my weakness, and I have to work on this lack, what is missing. And what you're telling us here is just the opposite. Like let me focus in my strength. Let me focus on what I'm really good at, and improve that even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And Miche, during your sessions, how is your approach? For instance, we are starting now. I'm the Wellness Universe, and I found you here, and I'm booking a session with you. How it started?
Yeah, one of the first things I like to look at with people or talk about um, is self-love, and how most of us are not brought up, or in our culture, uh, we're not, we're not even supposed to necessarily really like ourselves or love ourselves, or, maybe it's egotistic, or we're mostly focused on what's wrong and how to fix ourselves, what to do. And so to start looking at appreciating, for one thing, just you're here, right? You're doing good because you're here, you made it this far. And then to begin, what I talk about in my chapter in the book is to start looking at the language that we use when we talk to ourselves or about ourselves, because it's a very simple way to notice how we're not being so helpful to ourselves, and to shift that. So, for example, sometimes people come to me not so much yet for a private session, but they meet me in one of my spoon bending workshops, right? And where I'm going to teach them how to bend a spoon with their hands. And the first thing is like, I can't do that. And even just that statement about whatever, I can't XYZ, if you could just change it to saying like, I haven't yet, or I wonder if I could, or I wonder how I could, or I don't know how to, or any of those sort of things that are open-ended and that allow for something different than what your experience or what your judgment is in this moment. Right? I've never been never good at this, or I'm always this, or never that. Those are very finite statements that we make about ourselves, and we hear that. We hear what we say, and we believe it, and so we squeeze ourselves down into these lanes of what we think we can or can't do, and instead to just open that up and to say, I wonder if I could do that, or just even I would like to do that, or it used to be hard, maybe today it'll be different. So it's to bring self-love and possibility into really everything from the everyday life, from, I don't know, how you might try a new recipe in a cookbook, and tell yourself, I always get it wrong. Well, if you always get it wrong, chances are you're going to get it wrong again. But if you say, I used to always get it wrong, but today is going to be different, you'll have a different experience. All the way to if you're sitting down, in a meditation, or to doing a journey, or trying to connect with God, source, and maybe you always felt shy or unworthy or something to even, tap into that, or like with Janette, to talk to your angels. Maybe you feel like you don't deserve it. And to just bring in the question of, what if I did? What if it's possible? Maybe now. And to just open things up. Sorry, I kind of went on a little self-love rant there, but
I love
That was
that.
good.
It's like you use your voice of power as a command, right? Because always and never, it's so dangerous, right? If it's like keeping telling this, you have to acknowledge, be aware. And also when they say I am, what you say after I am, you have to
mhm,
really take care what you're saying about yourself.
absolutely, absolutely. And,
That's like a
for me,
mantra. Can be a mantra, right?
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And to start to pay attention to what you're saying, and say the positive things, say what you want to embody, what you want to bring in, definitely. And I spent most of my life, from childhood, quite depressed and not so happy with myself, very unhappy with myself, let's say. And I owned it. It was like I was my depression, I was my emotions, and so that meant that if things didn't feel good, then I wasn't good. And at some point, actually, it was when I first started studying meditation and Tibetan Buddhism with a couple of lamas from here, that I first understood and learned I am not my emotions. You are not your emotions. You're not your thoughts either. We have them. My name, Miche, I took from Tibetan. It means big sky mind. And it's the idea that who we truly are, these divine beings, right? Our awareness is as vast as the sky, and empty and open and stunning and brilliant. And our thoughts and our feelings, good, bad, and different, are like the weather that flows through our awareness. And so we are not that. We experience it. We can be aware of it, and we can also change it. It's a lot easier to think about changing what you're thinking or feeling than thinking that you have to change who you intrinsically are. And who we are these beautiful, aware, divine beings having these experiences.
Yes.
And
As you're saying, the creation does not commit mistake, right? If we are here, it's because we deserve to be here.
mm-hmm,
That's beautiful. One thing that I like to do, as if I am able to say a tool that I like to do, whenever someone or even myself say something bad about myself, or about, if I listen to my friends saying something bad about them, it's like cancel that.
yeah, mm-hmm,
How do you
right.
think about this? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I do. I love that idea of, like, you just sort of put something out and now you're canceling, you're clearing that slate. I like to take it a step further and then turn it around, and say, I don't know, like somebody's complaining about how you're always late or whatever, right? And and instead you can look at it and say, I'm so involved in what I do that sometimes I lose track of time. And it's a reframing, but it's not a put down, right? It's acknowledging what's going on. Like, yes, I am always often late, and it's coming from a full mind and a full heart, rather than it being a criticism.
Amazing. As you're saying, oh, I'm getting better at this, right? Oh, I'm not good. No, I'm getting better at this.
Right? Or saying up until now, or so far,
So far.
so that even, we acknowledge, okay, yes, this has been true for me, or this is what it's felt like, or this is where I've been stuck up until now, and leave the next moment open to new possibility.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, you guys so amazing. One more thing, because yeah, the 25 tools for life. It's so beautiful because you guys are giving so much insights for us, and people will get to know more about it when the book come. But it's simple tools at the end of the day. They're simple tools, but I see simplicity at the same time. It's so sophisticated, as you're saying, can bring so many huge shifts, so many joy and I'll overcome things that we are might facing for our whole lives. And he was like, is that's what I have to do? Is only that? It's just how I have to change my life? Yeah, that's it.
Right? It can be that simple. And recently I've been thinking about this sort of phrase came to me that it's not that life is in the way of having a spiritual life, it's that life is the way of being spiritual. When we bring that to everyday life, and it can be that simple as paying attention, or as, calling out, or connecting with an angel, or with somebody who can help us connect with an angel, or so many of the other tools that people are sharing in the book. They are very simple and yet very deep. And often we think when something is easy, it's not worth anything, or it's surface, and that is not
It's
true.
just a belief.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
right. I mean, saying I am is such an incredibly powerful thing. It's just two little words. How could that change my life? But it could if you really start paying attention, as you were saying, to everything that you say I am, and claim as true for you. Start claiming, I am loving, I am loved, I am happy, I am aware, I'm making a difference, I'm feeling an impact, I'm, just whatever it is, right? Just keep calling that in and claiming that for yourself, and then that's what you're focusing on, right? I think Janette said about the law of focus. Same thing, you start saying those things, you start believing them, because the other things we believe because somewhere, somehow, they were being said in our own head or to us or whatever. That's where they started, and let's start a new tradition of beliefs that really lift us up and raise us up. I
I
like to
love
say, I
that.
see you and I raise you.
That's great, Miche. You're speaking my love language, affirmations. I write the angel affirmations on the Wellness Universe blog, and
Yeah,
it's so true. Whatever follows the words I am becomes your truth. So just be very cognizant of the thoughts you think about what you are, and the words you say after those words. So
And
yeah,
Jeanette, specifically about your work with the angels, that's something that people would say like, but how? How can I start having a connection with my guardian angels? How is that possible?
well, the angels are always giving us signs in different ways. There, you could be receiving messages through your in through your intuition. You could be hearing words from a song that you think, "Oh, this is, reminds me of my grandma," or certain smells, or finding feathers. There's just so many different ways that the angels try to get our attention, but we have to pay attention and not dismiss it. Recently, I had a session with a gal, and she had asked for signs of love from above about her grandma, and she specifically asked for feathers, and she found a mountain of feathers, and her partner dismissed that for her and said, "Oh, that's just a dead bird," but that was feathers. She specifically asked. So, paying attention and appreciating the signs of love from above. A lot of people will just know, their inner wisdom or inner knowing that, oh, this is a message from the angels. So there's just so many different ways. And if you think it's a sign from the angels, from a loved one on the other side, it is.
How can people acknowledge that it's like, is that a sign from the angels, from the universe, or this is my ego talking? Because our ego can speak so loud. How can you acknowledge that the difference? No, this is coming from my highest
Yeah.
self, from my soul, from my angels, and it's not something that I want so bad that I'm getting starving, that I'm also like conceiving. Because the more you think about it, some things you can create, and sometimes not from the highest self, it's come only from the ego. How can you acknowledge the difference and say, no, this is my angels talking to me, I have to
Yeah.
go this way?
I think, we spend a lot of time living through our head and like over analyzing things. But
Mm.
when we drop down into our heart and receive the messages of love for what they are, um, that it's easy for us to acknowledge those. Like we were talking about the simplicity of things, acknowledging, oh, that just because something is easy doesn't mean it's not valued. So to know, oh, this really is a message coming in for me, and I should pay attention to it for my best and highest good.
I like to do, like whenever I'm going to talk to my angels, is ask, as you both were saying about ask and you receive. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that sometimes our angels are like, I want to work, send me there. Like if I want a protection, I go, hey, again, hey, angels, can you go first and make sure that the place is safe for me?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes their answers come in a different way or a different timing than we're expecting, and to be open to the different ways that that could take place, um, and just be open.
Yeah, and surrender, because we sometimes want to be so independent. I say, no, I'm going to do this by my own. I'm okay with that. I don't need anything of those. No, I don't need any tools because I'm on my own. I can stand up for myself and everything so far it's on me. And no, it's good for us to receive support and to ask for the guidance, and also to go here at in the wellness universe and ask for help. And oh, I'm gonna book a session with Janette because I have a feeling that's gonna make me feel better. And same with Miche. This is something that is part of our journey as a being in a spiritual being in a human body experience. That makes sense?
Yeah, sure does.
Right. I had a pretty fun experience just the other day with this asking. I was actually listening to a friend of mine's podcast on my way driving into town, and she was interviewing somebody about intuition and asking and just this sort of thing. And the woman was sharing a story about how it was her mom or her aunt where there were always feathers showing up. And so I thought about it. I thought, I've had different signs come in my life and whatever. And what just popped into my head is, I'm going to ask for a marble. And I kind of thought, like, why are you asking for a marble? It just was out of nowhere. That's what just popped in. I continued my journey. About 20 minutes later, I get to where I'm going to ship some packages, and I'm standing at the counter waiting to check out. And I look up, and they've got these big industrial shelves behind them. And there's a package, big box on its side. And I look at it, and in red lettering, it says, contains marble. And so it wasn't marbles, right? But it was marble, tiles or
Right,
whatever. And I just thought,
right.
okay, plus my angels have a sense of humor, and so it's when something unexpected, it doesn't come the way you think it's going to come. I think that's part of where I take it to be not just me, my ego making it up, because I wouldn't have made that up.
Right.
It's coming
Exactly.
from, beyond.
I
Love
love that. That's
that.
so amazing. Amazing. So, complete self care 25 tools for life is coming up in January. Um, I just for us like giving some tips. So your chapter is about appreciation, and it's and Miche's capture is about how you can you're saying you are giving a lot of tools, right? A lot of, it's not a recipe, but a guide that you would like to do for people to get more connected with themselves, right?
Mhm. Right.
So
And then, I'm
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that even the story, this how the book is laid out, I think is great. First, we're telling our own personal stories
Mm-hmm.
and connection with these tools or whatever, and how it happens for us in our lives, and then the section specifically sharing the tool, relating it, how a person would use it. And so even, for me in sharing my story, there's teaching and understanding, and hopefully some eye-opening for people for themselves as they can read along with my own coming to new understandings about who I am or who we are or what we're doing here. And so I imagine that's same for other people too, that just reading our stories and being able to relate to them or learn something new about how we perceive things differently is going to educate and be support for other people.
Yeah, because people can relate, right, to your story. Relate. Oh, this happened with me somehow, someday, and she overcome, and maybe I can use this for my own healing.
Right.
And also, you're saying about starting for little things, shifting the way you express, like your language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be your first. If I you give like someone to starting right now, try to be aware in what you're saying, the words you're speaking
Right.
about
Yes.
yourself.
And right. And to just, it may feel foreign to you or uncomfortable, but you deserve to be loved. You deserve to love yourself. You are lovable and worthy, and just that if we made it here, and I don't mean to today, but I mean made it here, like onto the planet, there's a good reason that we're here, and you're okay. And to start gifting yourself that, treat yourself the way you would treat a best friend.
Beautiful. And you, Janette, for the part of appreciation, how do you we would say people to start to appreciate more themselves, their lives?
Um, just you can start out small. There's always something to be grateful for. I'm grateful for the gift of my life. I'm grateful for the food in my refrigerator. I'm grateful for the gift of my home and shelter. We just have so much to be grateful for. And the thing with gratitude is that it's a magic elixir, right? There's science behind it that the more you're grateful for something, the less you worry and stress about things. And so it is a proven fact that if you express gratitude for 21 days, you will shift your life. Um, and that's not just me talking about it, but there's lots of science behind that, and PhDs, white papers about those topics. So, yeah, it's wonderful.
Wonderful. Oh, thank you so much. I would be here forever talking to you because it's fulfilling my soul, my spirit. So nourished, right, for us to talk about this kind of topics. It's so important nowadays that we have this. I think these books, they're so precious for the moment that we live now, whereas at the same time you see that people are the awakening process, but you still have a lot of work to do in order to make people get to know, oh, I have this too. It's I can reach that. I can get that. So I want to say thank you for your service, for everything you guys been doing during this. I mean, all the journey you're doing. And before we finish this live, I just wanna enjoy that we are talking about I am. What do you would say, you girls, after I am? I am, Miche?
I am I am love. I am here to be authentically, truly me and be the gift in the world that I came here to be.
It's beautiful, beautiful. And I think I would say I am a divine spark of love and light, here to shine my light as only I can. What about you, Claudia?
Wow. Right now, I am grateful for you.
And thank you.
Beautiful.
I'm grateful for you and this opportunity to meet together and to talk about all this. And clearly we love what we do.
Amazing. That's so beautiful. So, coming up, this complete self care 25 tools for life in January. And we have this amazing jewel that Miche developed with Anna Pereira. And thank you so much for everything. And a lot is coming next year. And we are grateful for you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.